Imagine having cameras following you every day at work, the good, bad, and the ugly. Every moment captured for the entire world to watch, analyze, and gossip about. Now picture the same spotlight on your family business, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Today I'm sharing how we turned the day-to-day moments of our legendary San Pedro fish market into a full-scale production. One just happened to find its way onto a little streaming platform called Amazon Prime. Hey, I'm Mike Ungaro, CEO, visionary, and business owner of the Kings of Fish TV series on Amazon Prime and the legendary San Pedro Fish Market. Under my leadership, we saw double-digit annual sales growth for over a decade and became the second most visited seaside attraction on the western seaboard, second only to SeaWorld. On this channel, you'll get an exclusive behind-the-scenes look at what it takes to run a multi-generational business that's been operating since 1956. The highs, the struggles, and the unique challenges of working with family. You'll see firsthand what it takes to keep a seafood empire thriving while also producing our TV series, Kings of Fish, which you can watch right here on YouTube and on Amazon Prime. All right, let's get into it. So, how in the world did we make a TV series? About 20 years ago, I was studying business and my mentor was teaching us the business narrative form. And what he was telling us, which is really interesting, is that we all learned this in sixth grade, but nobody really cares about it or knows just how valuable and successful it can help make you. I didn't understand. And I kind of forgot about it for some time until my kids were in sixth grade and they started coming to me about the plot mount, the elements of the exposition, conflict resolution, rising action, all that stuff. And I was like, this is the same stuff that I was learning in a business class some years ago. Weird that it came back to me. And I started thinking about it as we were running the business. We have all these great stories that no one knows about. And so I wondered, is this a missed opportunity? Because we were so head down, butt up running the business, we didn't really think to tell our stories or even talk about who we were. And then all of a sudden you had social media popping up. And as you were reading in social media, people started talking about us. And it was on Facebook, eventually Instagram, there was blog posts. And you're reading these stories and people are saying, oh yeah, that's like, it's owned by this family. It wasn't us, by the way. I don't even know what the family was. It's a seafood swap meet like the Mercado Negro down in Tijuana, which is like an outdoor seafood festival or swap meet. And I'm like, well, that's weird. That's not who we are either. And I started to understand, like, if we took control of the narrative and the story and told it on our own, there might be some really valuable brand building opportunities there. And then at the same time, as I was thinking through all this, there was this threat of redeveloping the entire waterfront in San Pedro, which is now happening. And as we were talking to city officials, and it wasn't the first time this had happened, it probably happened two other times, and it would kind of fizzle out, but this one was serious. And there wasn't an intention to really include us. I mean, we were invited to be part of it, but it was clear that nobody understood who we were or what we had been doing because we never talked about it. So I started to produce short videos about our history. I started using social media to tell our stories. And what we started to see was this big jump in sales. People started showing up. They were interested. They wanted to know, who are these people? I didn't realize how big they were. I started to accumulate an inventory of different accomplishments. And we told these stories. And all of a sudden, we went from no followers on our Facebook page to 10,000 to 20,000. Suddenly, we're one of the top 10 most Instagram restaurants in the entire country. And then we set 4 Guinness World Records. And this company came to us and said, we produce some TV shows. We think it would be pretty cool if we could capture you setting these Guinness World Records. Actually, we did 3 in one day. We already had one. But we weren't happy with one we had. So we decided if we set 3 in one day, that's some news. And so they filmed us and they created a sizzle reel out of it. And they shopped it around all over Hollywood. Nobody wanted it. But we got to keep it. And we were using it for different purposes, like helping to sell our retail products in the grocery store. And I went to my brother Henry. I go, you know what? How hard would it be to just create our own series? And so we found a team to put together. Tim is, who I'll introduce you to at some point in the future, is one of our executive producers. He works on shows like Bar Rescue and Below Deck and Iron Chef America. And he was like, I'm kind of worried that people are going to stop watching TV and the shows I make, and they're going to start going to streaming services. And I go, great, because I'd like to create our own series and put it on a streaming service. And that's how Kings of Fish was born. We started to tell our stories. We started to utilize that to make ourselves essential and irreplaceable in the waterfront. And it opened all these new opportunities all over the place. Ultimately, what happened was we created these series. We put the first episode on, and the first 4 episodes, we saw like a 25 or 35% bump in our sales, which was the busiest month of the year as it was, and we beat records with that. So we thought there's something here. We continued to make it, and then during the pandemic, when everybody was sitting around watching TV, we were approached to create it as an actual TV show and put it on Amazon because there was a great demand for content and we had a great storyline. And that's how Kings of Fish was born and how we got onto Amazon Prime. And so that's where we are now. We're making season 2, and it's really exciting. exciting, and we're covering, our expansion, our location, and because of the waterfront redevelopment, we're now one of the main tenants and signed a major lease to be inside of it with a 55,000 square foot dirt plot that we'll be building a brand new San Pedro fish market, and we expect that to have 3,000 seats, just like the original location we had. And if you watch season 1 of Kings of Fish on Amazon Prime, it'll tell you all about that business, its history, and what happened when we had to leave and where we went and how we still function, which is currently inside of a parking lot. Check it out. My name is Mike Ungaro. Hope you enjoyed the Kings of Fish story. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel, and you can also check out all the episodes of Kings of Fish right here. You can learn more about our restaurants by going to our website, sanpedrofish.com, or you can follow us on our social media channels, Instagram, Facebook, etc., at San Pedro Fish, or the TV show at Kings of Fish. Join me next time as I take you through how my grandfather started a fish market that was only 200 square feet size in 1956, and how it's grown into one of the largest restaurants in the entire country, serving 2 million visitors a year while also setting 4 Guinness World Records.